Beginning of day 15, we left off at Lincoln Gap yesterday, and we are slack packing today. As you'll see, topped with a much smaller pack, and we're doing the Monroe Skyline. So we're going all the way from here to App Gap, Route 17, where we left our car. Thanks to Dad and Ben for giving us a ride back to Lincoln Gap, and we got 11.6 miles to do this afternoon. The trail is much drier today, you can see here. Not sure how this trail was last night, but most trails we were running into had water running down them yesterday. A couple of huge boulders beside the trail. This interesting tree that the roots looks like it's crossing its legs. And as you're heading up, it's a little bit of water on the trail, but nothing in comparison to what it was like yesterday. At least on the part of the trail that we were on. So we made it to the junction with the Battell Trail, which leads down that way. It's a nice side trail to come up to the LT. And that's where we've come from. And panning you back around. There's Tupt and heading up the trail. So we're at Battell Shelter taking a lunch break. This is where we would have stayed last night, but by the sounds of it, one of the people that we were hiking with had to tent last night, so I'm guessing we would have been tenting too, so I'm pretty happy that we headed home for the night. And there's a nice picnic table, and there's Tupt, and we're about to have lunch. Getting towards the top of Mount Abe, starts to get a little more technical. There's Tupt going up. Not sure if this is giving you a good idea of just how steep it is, but it's pretty steep. So this is the view looking out towards the White Mountains in New Hampshire. Those are way out in the distance. We're not quite to the summit yet, but I like looking back sometimes towards the south. So right now we're looking to the east and starting to pan to the south. And if you look way out in the distance, and I'm going to zoom in, see if I can bring it in a little better. You can see the ski slopes at Killington. We were just there Monday, now it's Saturday. It's neat to think about traveling that distance by foot. Continuing on up the mountain, we'll bring you the views from the summit. Just about to the summit of Mount Abe, looking south again towards Killington, panning over towards the west. You can see Snake Mountain a little bit further out. You got the Adirondacks to the west of Lake Champlain. And then this is the direction we're headed. Coming to the Alpine Zone, which there's fragile vegetation, which is why we need to stay on the rocks, which we're doing. Arctic tundra. This little grass down here is what they're trying to protect. Good. So we're talking with Emily, who's the caretaker here on top of Mount Abe, and I'm going to give her a chance to tell a little bit of what she's doing.
Yeah, so here as a caretaker with the Green Mountain Club, Our organization helps us be up here in any fragile environments. So us caretakers on the mountains take care of the alpine vegetation that you see here because there's only 3 mountains in Vermont that actually have it. So it's pretty important that we make sure that we're up on the summit, just, educating and providing outreach education to any hikers that come by, greeting anyone, making sure that people and dogs are off the vegetation. But not on our good days. We are actually taking care of the trails as well. So I take care of the Lincoln Gap to the Appalachian Gap, which is about 12 miles. And then I also actually take care of the trail here as well. So we clear drains on there. Right now I'm looking to get some punch-in, so hopefully we'll get a project up here going to install that to better our trails. We also take care of shelters. So I'm up here 5 days a week and camping 4 nights at the Battell Shelter. And I also take care of a few others on this trail, and we do the privies. So I manage 3 composting privies actually, and a moldering privy. So we're out and about there, stirring some good old poop. And yeah.
All right, well, thank you very much, Emily. So we're heading north off Mount Abe. We got a ways to go yet. Looking out towards Lake Champlain, the rest of the Monroe Skyline. We've got Camel's Hump and Mount Mansfield way off in the distance. We'll be there Tuesday and Thursday, hopefully. So on this little unofficial side trail, there's the site of a plane crash. And here's some of the beginning of some of what's left of the plane as we come over this way. And the great thing about this is that the person actually walked away from this crash. Happened in the 70s. I can't imagine coming to a complete stop and saying, oh, hey, I'm okay, thankfully. But yeah, there's the plane. And then we're gonna head back to the trail because we've got some ground to cover and before it gets dark. We're at Little Abe, elevation 3,900 feet. Not much for the views, a little bit through the trees, but off to the west. But when you've been on Big Abe, not nearly as stunning, but still a nice little spot. So there's Mount Abe. We were just there less than half an hour ago. And then Little Abe, we were just there a few minutes ago, it seems. And if you look way off in the distance, one of our favorite little day hikes. See if I can zoom in on it. There's Snake Mountain. So coming along the trail here and look over to the right, there's a deck. And we're going to take a really brief break here because I spent way too much time on top of Mount Abe. Who let the cows out?
Maisie'd be so happy.
If you don't have cell service here, you shouldn't have it anywhere, right? There is Snake Mountain, better view of it. Again, Mount Abe, Little Abe. And this is, I believe, on top of Lincoln Peak. Sorry for my shaky hands because I'm zooming way in, but there is Camel's Hump. Believe it or not, we'll be there on Tuesday. And Mount Mansfield, the plan is to be there, going over that on Thursday. Hard to believe. So the first time I came up here, I was wondering, why is there this nice wooden deck? It seems kind of strange. And then boom, you come out and you're at the top of a ski lift. Makes a whole lot more sense when you're here. So there's Sugar Bush Ski Resort down below. And then incredible views. I'm glad the trail is kind of cruisy, as I like to say, through here, because we're stopping briefly to take in the gorgeous views. So this is a Castle Rock warming hut. You can stay in there if you're in a pinch. Nice view. There's a lift right over there behind the trees. Over this way, it's just a little bit off the, where we are is just a bit off the trail. Bring you back up towards the trail. There's the lift. The trail actually goes back down this way. We'll be going. We're on our way up Mount Ellen. That's Lincoln Mountain that we just came over. Making fairly good time, which is good because it's getting late. So this rock cairn here marks the summit of Mount Ellen. And we'll take some more videos at the ski lift, which is just a little ways down, so there's some views there, but we're on the it's apparently the same elevation as Camel's Hump, so they're tied for third, but our second 4,000 footer of the day. Some outstanding views again. Camel's Hump and Mount Mansfield in the distance. Just incredible views today.
Number 33 and 32 waiting for riders. Just swinging in the breeze.
Yep. There's the lift going all the way down to the bottom. And there is Lake Champlain. A beautiful day. So you start coming down the ski trail from above here, and this is a very easy turn to miss. My friend Hawkeye missed this turn last year, and
Somebody has helped out by putting
there's a couple of reflective pieces of tape there for double blazes, because that's where the trail goes. If you get to the fence, you've gone a little too far. Enjoying another view at Orvis Lookout. Just a short little side trail over here, maybe 50 feet. Definitely worth a few steps. We've reached the Barton Trail to Glen Ellen Lodge, which is 3/10 of a mile down that way. And we're gonna keep on heading north. That's how I do it.
This is one of the downhill sections heading toward the App Gap, which you might be able to hear in the background. And yes, that is rebar sticking out of the rock. And Brock is doing an awesome job. Way to go, Megamind. He likes to go forward. I totally turn around and do it backward. Catch you at the bottom.
Then after that rebar, there's a wooden ladder. And there's more rebar below. This one I'll be going down backwards. Catching the last glimpses of daylight as we come out on our slack pack. The end of a beautiful day. Day day 15 recap. We did 11.6 miles, came out right over there, but this is being recorded on day 17 because it was way too dark to record when we finally got down out of there. Started later than we planned on, but had a beautiful day and look forward to getting back on the trail.